Hello, and welcome to Community TV with Adaire. This is TV for you by TV from me, and this is where I talk to people in our community who are doing amazing things to help the people around them. It enhances their lives and it adds value to what they're doing. So this could be anything from meditation, a yoga class, learning to cook, reading tarot cards, physical fitness or gardening, whatever you're interested in. I bring it to you through Community TV with Adaire. Today we are talking to Jodie Nevid. Now, Jodie is the co-founder and co-author of the Seven Effect. She created her business and her book with her workplace bestie, Amy Slattery, because they wanted to inspire people to wake up and live life by design and not default. Not long ago, Jodie was a stressed out single mum working full time in the corporate world, a high performing workaholic during the week, a binge drinking, chain smoking party girl on weekends when her son went to his dad's. You might even say that she was looking for love and salvation in all the wrong places. And then she woke up, and that is when everything changed. Welcome, Jodie.
Hello, how are you? I'm so glad to be
here. Excellent. How are you coping with the heat?
It's very hot here, and I hear getting even hotter tomorrow. Oh, my goodness.
I know. Good day to be indoors with the cooler on. Jodie, what changed for you?
Oh, my God, it was a big change. I don't know if you've ever been through a massive wake-up moment, but it happened in a place that I wasn't expecting. So as you mentioned, my best friend and I, we met through work, and we were working for a leadership company. Amy was the events manager and I was the state manager and lead educator and facilitator. We did leadership training. Once a year we ran this amazing leadership conference, and I was sitting there in the leadership conference. I've got a background in small business, so I'd been now 2 years in the corporate world working full time, which was new to me. And one of the speakers at the conference, so I was the MC that day, but I also got to sit and listen to the speakers. And one of the speakers at the conference talked about this thing called Snow White syndrome. And I'd never heard about it before. And it actually comes from a book called Emotional Capitalist by Martin Newman. And anyway, he said we all grow up with the same sort of fairy tales and superheroes, and there's a common theme. Can you guess what the common theme is, Adaire?
Oh, let me think. Hang on. The common theme.
I'm throwing you on the spot.
The common theme might be that nobody's happy.
Well, the common theme is actually people are in trouble, but there's always a happy ending. But we get to the happy ending in stories like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, and even with Superman and Batman, because someone comes along and rescues us. So all of these things that we are raised on, this is the breakfast of my childhood anyway, unconsciously conditions us to grow up through life. And by the time we get to our 20s or 30s, we take a bite of the poison apple, the shitty thing that happens to us, excuse my language. And that could be a divorce, a change in job, something going wrong. And what we tend to do is we lay down and we sleep and we wait for someone to come along and rescue us. We don't do this consciously, we do it unconsciously. And so this was really a wake-up moment for me, because as the speaker was talking about it, of course, I'd been out of a relationship for 2 years, still holding on to a bitter, twisted resentment. But what I realised is that parts of my life had got really, really messy, because unconsciously I was waiting till I met a guy to get back and do all the things that I wanted to do, like travel the world, get back into property, even sort things out around the home that were falling apart. I just wasn't putting my attention to it, because unconsciously I was thinking, yeah, when I meet the guy, I'll deal with that. At the moment, I just got to keep working, paying the bills and being a crazy workaholic single mum. So that was a big wake up for me. I left that conference on what can only be described as a conference high, because the speaker said to me, well, he said to everyone in the room, for those of you who are waiting, laying on the slab waiting for Prince Charming to come along and save the day, wake up, he's not coming. And so that did literally wake me up. And when I left on my conference high, I sent a message out to some of my girlfriends who I also think had a chronic case of Snow White syndrome like me, all single mums. And I said, rather than us meet at the pub once a month, why don't we meet once a month around a dining room table and start a goals club? Bit like a book club, but instead of reading books, we'll set goals, we'll hold each other accountable, and we'll make stuff happen. So that was what changed it all.
That's amazing. I love that story and the Snow White thing. I'm in the back going, but that's okay. I actually think it is, and I reflect back and I think, yes, I actually did. When you say those wake up moments, some of us need more than one, which is unfortunate, but it does.
Sleep again. Even though we wake up, we just go back again.
Yes. I've just got a couple of people here. I'd like to say hi, Roz. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Roz.
And somebody's here. There's a couple of people here that are actually commenting as the page My Time TV. So if you are, just let us know who you are, because when you're commenting on your phone, sometimes you can't change it to commenting as yourself. So Rose, and she's jumping ahead. I was going to say we're going to talk about what the Goals Club is and how that rolled out and how you've developed an amazing suite of tools and programs that can help people when they are, sort of in the process of waking up. And Rose has actually gotten the jump on us. If you comment life in the comments down here, what you will get is so Peter, hey, there we go. She's now commenting as herself. What you will get is the life audit tool sent directly to your inbox. Now, Jodie, I'm going to ask you now to just share with us a little bit of something, the things that came out of the Goals Club and how that's evolved into the amazing way that you help people today.
Absolutely. So what happened was 10 women rocked up at my house in May 2009 when I sent the call out after being on my conference high. And long story short, there were 7 of us, myself plus 6 others, that agreed to create this Goals Club. And so all we did was every month we met, we set our goals, and we held each other accountable. And what we also did was we set up a joint bank account and we put $50 in that joint bank account with the idea that as the money grew, we would decide what we would do with it. Maybe we would invest it. Maybe we would go on a retreat with it together. Or we didn't know what we would do with the money. But the rules were if you left the group, the money stayed in the joint bank account. So what ended up happening is the group went for about 4 years and there ended up being about, $10,000, $15,000 in this joint bank account. Once a year, we went and hired a beach house down south and spent a retreat sorting out our goals. But the real phenomenal shift was every month we started to take care of little things. And as the little goals, all that stuff that sort of grows up, like literally in my backyard was the weeds. I had very big weeds and stuff that needed to be taken care of. The overdue tax returns, the dry cleaning that hasn't been dropped off for 6 months and it's sitting in the corner. It's all those little things. Once we took care of the little things and created new habits like quitting smoking and stop binge drinking, we started to set bigger goals. And over the years, we ended up doing things like getting back into property investing and new jobs, promotions, pay rises, new skills developed. And essentially, because a part of my role was speaking at events, I did a lot of leadership conferences and women in leadership conferences, I naturally shared stories of the Goals Club. And that's how the name came about, because there were 7 members, so we were the 7 Effect. And people would come running up to me after my keynotes and say, how do I get in the club? I need this club. I need to sort my life out. And so I went back to the ladies in the group, because the 7 Effect was never founded to be a business. It was just a club. It was a bit of fun to help us get our act together. And I went back to the girls and I said, look, I'm in this industry. I honestly believe it's got legs. As a business, people are saying they want it. And long story short, 5 of the ladies said, look, it's not the business for us. They were doing their own things. But Amy and I decided to become business partners. And in 2014, we launched the 7 Effect and opened up Goals Clubs to our community. And the business has just grown from strength to strength. And now our clients are following our formula, using the life audit to sort their life out and setting goals around the 7 elements of life, which is very cool.
That is beautiful, and I love that story. I'm just going to pop a little thing, scroll thing above across here as well. So comment like for the life for the life audit tool direct to your inbox. And we do have some. Maria has said hello, so hi to Maria. Sarah, I did my hypnotherapy NLP training with Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
And please do comment life for the life audit tool. So you have helped since 2014. You've been helping a lot of. Is it women, men, both?
Look, it's mostly women, but most of our events get at least 1 or 2 blokes in them. And in fact, the first year we ran our Ultimate Goals Club, we did have 1 man join us. And so it was him and 7 other women that came on the journey with him. And he loved it because he got so much attention. He was kind of like the golden child in the group because he was the only man, and we loved the fact that he was showing up and setting his goals. And, you know, he was a very kinesthetic kind of feely guy that really was good at connecting, very sensitive person, good at connecting with women. So we had a blast. And the way the goals clubs work are you go deep once a month on one of the 7 elements of life. So we share information, we do some coaching, we set your goals, and then the next month you come back, you report on how well you went, we deal with any troubles that have come up, challenges, barriers, do some coaching around that, and then set the next goals. So it's a really simple process. But I think what happens before Goals Club starts, which is our life design process, is the foundation for that to all work well. So I'm happy to talk about that if you want.
Yeah, so give us some understanding about the life design process, because sometimes we think we've got it, you know, nailed, and then like you said, we wake up, we go to sleep again, we wake up, or we develop, and then we plateau. And so how does that work in the terms of the life design
process? Yeah, so the waking up is the key part, and sometimes we know we need to, but we don't know how. It's almost like when you're thinking, you know, I just need to do something different, but I feel like I'm in a fog. Anyway, the way we begin our life design process is with the reality slap, which is the life audit tool. So the life audit tool, if you put life in the comments, you'll get so this is a copy of our book that's got all our tools in it as well. But you'll get a tool that talks you through a wheel that looks a bit like that. Anyway, it breaks down the 7 elements of life, and it asks you a bunch of questions around each of those elements, and you get a score at the end. It doesn't matter how low your scores are. When I first did this back in 2009, I would have been averaging 2s and 3s in most areas. However, it's where you want to be that matters most. So we do coaching around the life audit, and in the free tool, there's an online debrief program. I talk people through how to use it and how to coach yourself around it. But what we then do is we go, okay, this is where you are. You've had the reality slap. A lot of people say that's very confronting, but it's good. It wakes you up. Now, where do you want to be? And this is the dare to dream part. And it's what we call designing the 7 wonders of your world. If we look at the 7 elements, what does a 10 out of 10 for each of those elements look like? And we literally create the blueprint. We design it up. And from there, we break it down into your 12-month goals, and that's what we run the Goals Club from. So there's all this pre-work that we do with our clients first, and then we get into the Goals Club to make it the most transformational year that anyone could expect to have. It's amazing.
Wow. So how many people have you taken through the Goals Club, or is there and you said it's a year, so a year-long program? And
yeah, so it runs for 9 months, begins in March. Last year, Adaire ran it. I personally have only taken 2 groups through, which is around 20 people. We have an online version as well, where we've got about 600 or so people that do our free Goals Club. And this year we've got another 20 places where Amy and Adaire will be running the Goals Club. So I personally don't work in that space anymore because as our business has grown, I'm now teaching business builders how to create their own business as a coach or a consultant. But we have accredited coaches in our business that run those goals clubs. So we have hundreds of people every year accessing this content and going on the journey, whether it be in life design school or in our small, we only have maximum 10 people at once in our sort of exclusive small groups. And what we're doing is training other people to teach them for us as well, which is cool.
That's beautiful. So how do you multiply yourself? That's
we need accredited 7 Effects coaches, yeah.
Yeah, and I would imagine they would all come through the process and they would all be having outstanding successes themselves and going, well, I want to contribute to doing this and become an accredited coach. Pretty amazing stuff. So some of the things that you've had, some of the successes that you've had with people, we're talking about business, but if you're just but if you're, say, you're a stay-at-home mum and you know that there's more there for you and you want some more high level confidence to be able to just go back to the workforce, or just even to some things around maybe your health and fitness and weight and that type of thing, is that something that you would have really be able to help people with?
Definitely. So losing weight is a biggie, even though weight's become one of those things that people don't like to say, oh, I need to lose weight. But what happens when you wake up and become more conscious about your choices and how you want to design life? So Marcus, for example, the one guy that we had in the first year that we ran it, which I think was 2016 or anyway, 2015 maybe, he lost, I think, nearly 20 kilos. And we had Adaire that did the Goals Club program for the first year and then did it the second year and has now become accredited with it. In her first year, she lost about 12 kilos. So, again, people that want to lose weight, it just sort of starts to drop off when you change your lifestyle habits. Yeah. But the other thing I think that's the biggest change for most people, and this might not be what people come looking for consciously, is around the passion element. So the 7 elements of life are brain, which is all around your mindset and your mental well-being; body, which is all around energy, health, nutrition; being, which is the places you be, your home environment, your work environment; love, which is relationships; time, which is where you spend your time; money, which is how well you manage it and get it working for you; and then finally, the 7th element is passion. Now, when people do the life audit, the passion one is the one that kicks them in the guts the most, because they go, oh, God, I'm so busy working. I'm so stressed out most of the time. I struggle to answer the questions because my brain's not working. I haven't even got time to think about what I'm passionate about. I don't even know if I ever have been. So a lot of people join the Goals Club with the goal to say, I just want to find my purpose. I want to find something to be passionate about. Yeah. By the end of it, they do. There's a lady called Kathy who joined in our first year as well, and she'd never done any goal setting or anything like this. And by the end of it, she broke through so many personal barriers, and she developed and she lost a lot of weight too, and she developed a really strong passion for natural health, and then got into Cindy O'Meara and changing habits, and just went on this journey that she never would have gone on if she hadn't done the Goals Club.
That's amazing. So you don't have to be a business builder, but that can lead to that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Goals Club is more for people who just want to sort their life out. It's not really about building a business at all. It's about looking at the elements of your life, getting a lot of people, for example, in the brain, they just want to have a peaceful mind where they're not constantly beating themselves up, and to be present with their children is a big one. Around the body, it's a lot to do with, I just want to have more energy. I want to feel good in my own skin. I want time to go for a walk or go to that yoga class. Around the being, it's sorting out the home and things like that. And it sounds like little stuff, but it's all the stuff that can build up if you don't take care of it while you're sleeping.
Yeah. So, I just think it's an amazing thing. So if you haven't already, just drop life in the comments, the word life, and you'll be sent the life audit direct to your inbox. You mentioned before, Jodie, that you had an online community where you do the goals and you've got about 600 people in there. Is that
Yeah.
something that people here can access as well?
Yeah, so if you go to Facebook and type in Life Design School, this is like our entry program. It is free, and we have the beautiful Adaire and Kelly, who are some of our original Goals Club members, well, the first paid group, and they host it, and every month we give away prizes. So there's a formula, which is just like our Goals Club. You set your goals, you report on your progress through the month, you share your accountability at the end of the month, and we give away an amazing prize to the best goal setter every single month. So definitely go to Life Design School. It's a great community.
Well, can I tell you a secret? I actually took the liberty of popping the link to the Life Design School inside the message that you'll get. So when you get if you're typing in life, in the comments for the Life Audit Tool, you will also get a link that will take you to the Life Design School. So please do click on that and ask to join, and you'll be able to participate in that online for free, and have a group, a community of people who are on the same path in setting goals and being prepared to hold themselves accountable, which is one of the big things.
And, you know, what's really nice is we see a lot of people in Life Design School all over Australia who we've never met face to face, but they're sharing openly before and after photos of things, their goals that they're achieving, selling their houses, you know, going on holidays, doing all these different really cool things. And it's the real lifestyle stuff. It's like making life better. So the other thing I don't know if this is running at the moment, but usually we give a free 30-minute coaching session to go through some of the ideas in the life design, in the life audit, sorry. So if anyone does put life in the comments and want to do that, then I think that will be there available. If it's not, dob me in and say, Jodie said I'd get a free coaching session, and we'll sort it out. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. So if anybody has any questions for Jodie, now's the time to ask them. So any questions about anything of the Life Design School, the Goals Club, I think it's amazing. I think the whole way of I was going to say I grew up in, but I spent a lot of time in the corporate sector where it was very structured and very regimented, and it was always about having blueprints and goals and that. And I've tended to move a little bit away from that. So what I see, what you're bringing is more the I suppose the feminine energy to the goal setting process, because it's always been a very masculine approach in my
Yeah, well, the industry is built on a lot of blokes, you know, the old school early educators around goal setting were all men, and I actually love all of their work. But, you know, you read the old books like Think and Grow Rich or Dale Carnegie or whatever it is, and it speaks only to men. So he, who, and to him, and it's always male speak. What's really lovely now, though, is probably more than men, women are getting on the bandwagon and saying, no, I got to take control of my own life. I got to sort it out and design it how I want it to be.
Yes, no more Snow White syndrome.
No.
So, Rose.
Thanks, Rose.
Sarah, it'll be great to have you in the community.
Yay, welcome, Sarah.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So it doesn't look like we have questions, but is there any comments that you'd like to make or any last words that you'd like to leave us with?
Me personally?
Yeah.
To me? Yeah. So I guess one of the things that I would say, and this is a big barrier for most people, and it was for me as well, even when we started the Goals Club, probably about a year into it, I got to a stage where life was just so overwhelming. You know, it was just challenging me in every way because I was working really crazy hours. I was trying to juggle the child as well and had some bad habits that I needed to get rid of. And the internal dialogue in my head was, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough money to do anything more. This is my lot. And I was talking myself into this downward spiral that I was just capped out, and all the things I wanted to do to be free seemed so far out of reach. The reality was I did have enough time, I just wasn't putting it in the right places. So my wake-up call after the first wake-up call was when I went home to pick up my son from my nana's, and I was really upset and sobbing about how much I hated my life and I'd hated my day. And Nana just really, my Nana's beautiful, she sort of patted me on the shoulder and said, you know what, dear, if you really don't like it, you should change it. And it made me feel really angry at the time because I thought, oh, change it? As if I can just change it like that, Nana. It's all right for you. You don't have to work. And, of course, I didn't say that to my beautiful Nana, but that's what I thought at the time. But I went home that night and I thought, you know what, just change it. Just change it. If only I could. And then I decided I would. And it's the moment you decide you will and you take action with people around you that you can really achieve anything. So here's the thing. From a stressed out single mum who was over $50,000 in debt in 2010, I am now financially free. I quit the corporate world. I've started my own dream business. I have a property portfolio. I travel the world. I have clients in America. It is amazing. Now, if you had said that I could do all of that in 2010, I would have said, I haven't got time. I haven't got energy. There's not enough of anything. But Goals Club really did help me get there. So anyone can do it, but you've got to show up and you've got to get the clarity around your goals. So thank you for having me.
I love it. I love it. So inspiring. So inspiring. Well, thank you, Jodie. And I'll just drop you. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk in a moment after I've finished up the show. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Jodie Nevid from The 7 Effects. So just remember, if you would like to have a copy of the Life Audit tool, you are more than welcome to drop the word life in the comments and it will be sent direct to your inbox. I'm Adaire from Community TV with Adaire. We're here live on My Time TV every Wednesday at 2 p.m. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week and stay cool today if you're in Adelaide. Bye for now.